Audacity.
That was a meaty crack.
All right, since it's not Saturday, I shouldn't be getting any.
Meaty cat.
Since it's not Saturday, I shouldn't be getting any lawn mowers and stuff in the background. Should hopefully just be silent all throughout this. Okay, testing 1 2 testing. La 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 la. I'm not doing that. Okay,
You didn't
don't
go
seem
up
to be
in pitch.
clipping.
You just went up in volume.
I know.
You just went up in sex.
Do re mi
Insects.
fa sol la ti do.
Stop, we're not singing. We don't need...
Do re la sono chino sa. Wow, I can't believe Dark Souls 3 came out this week.
Cut.
Great, welcome to the RIPcast, Dark Souls Power Hour edition, starring myself, Burn Faraday. Special guest, Silent Kinjail.
How's it going?
Hey, and the only afro from YouTube, the resident expert on Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, they know. Yeah, they know. They know.
My boy Beef McLaurin-Huge.
Hey, why did you introduce the special guest first? That's not very...
Because I'm going down the TeamSpeak list. Don't fucking worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then my
sorry.
boy Shantari, the beast from the east, the werewolf from London, the man
How's it
himself,
Hello, everybody.
the Red Baron.
That's me.
I don't think he's the Red Baron. I think that was
Yeah,
already...
no, that was actually me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, I love your pizza.
Thank you.
Is that a pizza chain?
Papa bless.
Oh, don't even start with Papa Bless.
Anyway, so Dark Souls 3 came out.
It's a good game. I want to start with that point. It's a good game. I've been enjoying it.
I completely, 100% agree with you.
Is it the best though?
No. Well, here's the thing. I think what Dark Souls 1 did is you can't really replicate it. It's
broken amazingly.
Yeah, because if you tried to replicate it, you'd like fix all the good things about it, like a lot of the bugs and the way the community has discovered things. Like one thing I don't necessarily like about Dark Souls 3, and it's not Dark Souls 3 fault, but it's like the mass amount of marketing and YouTube videos and just everyone knows everything about everything already. Because, of course, Dark Souls 1, nobody knew anything. And
we're looking at this from the perspective of people who have been playing Dark Souls 1 for fucking years. I'm sure that there's going to be things about Dark Souls 3 that
you think
are going to crawl out of the woodwork still. We don't know everything about the game yet, surely. There's no way.
You don't
it's on
think,
PC,
like,
people like open that game, dissect it like a nice virgin on Elm Street. Like that game is it's everything we know about it. It's already known.
I mean, I really don't
Don't ruin my dreams. Also, the other thing is that it's going to be actively patched by the look of things. So, maybe there's more to come.
Some more secret shit will come spilling
The
out.
DLC is about to come.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be DLC, but I'm not too worried about that.
I'm already excited for the DLC.
I'm looking forward to it. How do you guys feel about starting things off, just the combat mechanics, like how shields work, how weapons work, weapon arts especially. Those are a new thing where most weapons will have like an L2 and they'll do a special thing, and it's different for each. And I know that's not very descriptive.
You're
but it's
explaining
different
this
for each
really
enemy.
well.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so each different weapon, if you dual hand it, has like a special skill associated with it that happens when you pull L2. So with like clubs, you do a little scream and then you turn into a red glowy man and attack things fast.
What? Go on.
You did a really great job explaining.
If you fuck you, man. Why would you go in with that? That's a really specific detail to open up with.
I'm just
Okay.
that's the first thing I notice about
one of the main things that's different from Dark Souls 2 is that you can no longer dual wield every weapon.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
surprised
God.
they went back on that. And
I'm not fucking surprised because that was a stupid fucking mechanic.
One of the first things you'll notice that's different about Dark Souls 2 is that it's a good game.
Whoa.
Wow.
You mean 3. Dark Souls 3 is a good game. You might
That's what I meant. You'll notice the difference between 2 and 3.
The fucking collective sigh of relief from everyone when Dark Souls 3 wasn't as shit as Dark Souls 2. Could have whipped up a storm that would wipe out the South Pacific Island.
I'm gonna bring up a controversial opinion. I enjoyed Dark Souls 2. Yeah.
It's a good game.
Agreed. It's not the best game, of course. But
just, in my mind, it wasn't different enough from Dark Souls 1 that it set it apart in any real way.
I feel like it was really different from Dark Souls 1, maybe too different. If anything, I feel like Dark Souls 3 is really, really, really similar to Dark Souls 1.
The only thing that I really disliked about 2 was how clunky it felt.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who feels like that? Like, it just, the way the character moves, the way it dodged, the way you swung your sword, the way your attacks interacted with the environment and the enemy.
Yeah.
And the way
It felt like Play-Doh-ish.
Yeah. That's the only thing I didn't like about Dark Souls 2. If they had, like, the same kind of feel that Dark Souls 1 had, combat-wise and stuff, I would have loved it. Because I like everything about Dark Souls 2. I don't really have a problem with it outside of that. But since the way that you interact with the environment and the enemies is literally 90% of that game.
Yeah, very true.
It's really hard to look past.
I really enjoyed in Dark Souls 2. I know we're supposed to be talking about Dark Souls 3, but in Dark Souls 2 you could power stance weapons, and power stancing large clubs and great clubs, it was a beautiful thing.
The large and great club.
Yeah, luckily great clubs still exist.
I liked power stancing.
Power stancing was fun, and it was like a reason to input your stats into stats that weren't just vigor, health, endurance, that kind of stuff. Like,
Talking of that, in Dark Souls 3, those stats, kind of the weight that they carry, they're a little bit different from the other games. Like, having a buttload of stamina isn't necessarily a thing anymore. Because when you upgrade the stamina stat, you get like 2 stamina per upgrade. So it's not worth just dumping ass loads of points into stamina anymore. Which is definitely a good thing, because you can't just fucking swing forever in PvP.
I mean, I feel like you still can for certain builds, but I play strength, which basically means 2 hits and then you're done. 2 hits and then you get destroyed by someone with a rapier. Has been my experience.
Shout outs to the S-Stock.
Shouts out to the S-Stock. I figured since Reculier, we haven't even mentioned, Reculier's in here. He is busy and we could not coordinate it. He's off in New York City this weekend doing whatever. He's been playing Dark Souls 3 though, I'm sure.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, poor man. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying, I like strength weapons. That wasn't what I was saying, but I couldn't remember what I was saying, so I'm just going to talk about strength weapons.
We were talking about Dark Souls 2, and to go back to that, Dark Souls 2, like, in terms of the story, I feel like elements of the story from Dark Souls 2 have kind of had to been shoehorned in to Miyazaki's vision for the overarching plot of Dark Souls. Does anyone else get that?
Yeah, I don't really see a whole lot from Dark Souls 2 and 3. I saw that one, the Tree of the Giant, that was there. Back of Firelink or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's really all I've seen from Dark Souls 2, unless I'm missing.
Well, and Yhorm the Giant, obviously.
Oh right, homie.
Yeah. So the profaned capital and everything associated with that is kind of the only real reference that I noticed towards Dark Souls 2. But it feels like Miyazaki just wants to tell the story from Dark Souls 1 and forget all about Dark Souls 2.
Oh, for sure. I mean, another thing from Dark Souls 2, if right near the bonfire in Profaned Capital, there's a corpse lying on the ground. If you look very closely, you'll realize it is Scotsman McHaggis from Dark Souls 2, a.k.a. the guy who sells ladders. And he's just a corpse there. Yes, you can go check it for yourself and look nice and closely. He's just a charred corpse on the ground. I don't know why. Maybe they just like reusing models, but It's an interesting little.
Talking of reusing
tidbit.
models.
Oh, let's talk about Smoldering Lake, whatever that is. That place is just chock full of tourist demons, and not alive tourist demons, just like as background decoration, just everywhere.
And there's
Tourist
a
demon.
dead asylum demon in the old Demon King's arena. Sitting
Yeah,
on his fat ass.
there's like 80 of them.
But there's an even bigger model that they've copy pasted from Dark Souls 1 that you've forgotten
What do you
all
mean?
about, which is the entirety of Anor Londo, literally cut and paste
Yeah.
into the game.
Hopefully by now you've realized there are going to be spoilers, and if you haven't played through all of Dark Souls 3, you might be tuning out at this point. But yeah, all of Anor Londo, the castle, basically, has been copy pasted directly into it. Now it plays a bit different. You don't have to go through all the painted rooms and all that. It's like full of sludge and gross slimes and just it's really awful.
Big
to
spider
trudge
cat
through.
demons.
Those are fun to fight. I like
Basically, a slime monster is eating in Orlando. Kind
those.
of.
Yeah. And then the boss is the boss is basically all of the Dark Souls enemies, all the Dark Souls bosses, right? Is that what it's meant to signify?
Yeah, because spoilers. Aldrich, his hers, I don't know. His whole storyline is that he went to Anor Londo and ate all of the gods. So if you look at Aldrich's model, he's wearing Gwendolyn's helmet. The implication, I
Oh.
assume, being that he went to Anor Londo post events of Dark Souls 1 and ate the shit out of Gwendolyn.
Sexy.
He also shoots a load of arrows that will ruin your day.
He also uses Priscilla's scythe, which means he ate Priscilla,
Aw. That's sad.
along with Nito's stab
He has
curved sword thing.
Mm-hmm.
He just ate everyone, motherfucker.
Really, it was when I went to Anor Londo in Dark Souls 3 that it kind of all fell into place how this game is supposed to be like heavily linked to Dark Souls 1. Like in the previous Souls games, it's kind of been the whole spiritual successor hinting at that they're the same world and stuff like that, but Dark Souls 3, it's being made explicitly obvious that this is the same place that Dark
Well, it takes
Souls 1
place
took
geographically in the same place.
Yeah.
Not like Dark Souls 2.
Geographically, it is
which-
definitely not the same.
No, it is geographically the same. It's just so much time has passed. You know Smoldering Lake?
Yeah.
That's
I
fucking
understand.
Blighttown.
Yeah.
What?
Smoldering Lake is Blighttown. You
Oh
can
my
see,
God.
was it Quilana and the Fair Lady dead in Smoldering Lake?
I remember that. Oh my God.
That is
Right,
Blighttown.
It is Blighttown. I was gonna say if you were gonna say it was Chaos Place, whatever it's called, I was gonna call bullshit because it's water, not lava. But
Have,
you're not.
Have the lore fags figured out where the Filing Shrine is supposed to be?
Oh, I'm sure there's at least 19 different theories about that.
Well, remember
Oh.
the Firelink Shrine we use isn't even connected to the world we explore, but the Abyss Firelink Shrine that we find is connected to the world we explore. So that might be the real
Oh,
Firelink
shit.
Shrine.
I mean,
you don't
dude.
really go from Firelink Shrine to your new area. You have to literally teleport for the first
Right.
area to the High Wall of Lothric. But
Yeah,
if
but
you
you
go
can
to the Abyss
no,
version,
you can see it in the distance. I can't remember where. It might be from Anor Londo. You can see.
It might
Filing
be the
Shrine in
Abyss one.
distance.
how do you know?
Because I
That is
I
true.
looked. I'm pretty sure you can. It looks like Filing Shrine. I'd have to double.
Well,
I'd have it. Don't like take my word for it. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure at some point, if you stand on like the bridge up to Anor Londo just after you get off the rotating elevator, I'm pretty fucking sure you can see Filing Shrine in the distance.
I'm surprised you couldn't
Don't
see
worry.
Sen's Fortress or like the big wall that was supposed to be there.
You
Or
definitely
even-
can see.
Well,
Uh,
I reckon that. Okay, this is a. This
you can
is a
see
real
Duke's
reach.
Archives, of course, and you even go into Duke Archives.
This
but-
is basically fucking fan fiction at this point. But imagine the canon ending to Dark Souls 1 is the Dark Lord ending, right? We don't link the fire, the world goes cold as fuck, right?
right.
So you enter an ice age, okay? So you've got all this fucking
It's probably
you've got all
just
this
winter,
glacial
dude.
drift action. What if it's all fucking like
Santa
glacial
Claus is
drift,
coming
so all
to
of these
town,
fucking
man.
mountains have like moved around, so everything's in like a different
Alright.
orientation, huh?
Maybe they just tore the wall down because like Donald Trump lost or some shit, and it was like, all right, tear it down. Terror.
Wait,
Then how do you explain the high wall of Lothric?
Oh
No.
my, yeah, Donald Trump did make that wall. It must. I don't understand any other theory than.
Donald Trump linked the second flame. That's it.
I can't believe Donald Trump is canon in Dark Souls lore.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking put all the undead into a cannon and shoot it right into the sun.
Wow.
Deport all the hollows.
Do you guys think that all of the Lords of Cinder are people who have linked the flame?
No.
That's explicitly stated.
Is it? Okay,
Yes.
maybe I'm just.
Oh, where is that explicitly stated?
Ludleth
At the
tells
beginning
you.
of the game.
Oh, does it? Okay.
How did Ludleth link the
Ludleth
flame?
was like, okay, I'm gonna link the flame. I'm gonna sit in this chair for 400 years. That's what he
Oh,
did.
dude, I feel like Ludleth is a secret badass. If you like slap him and make him a little
No.
bit angry, then his voice gets fucking crazy as hell.
That-
You know, he's got like quite a gentle, like normal voice. If you slap him around a little bit, he's suddenly like, "Don't do that again."
What? I want to. I want to see this.
I think he's a
That's not
scary
true.
motherfucker.
Is he the Hulk? Is he the Hulk? Did Bruce Banner?
He's like a dried up raisin. He's so fragile. He's done. His time is over.
A dried up raisin made out of glass.
Alright, so hold on real quick. I'm gonna, cut off the Dark Souls 3 talk for, just a couple seconds. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
date this episode. Are you guys ready for this?
Oh, I don't. Okay.
Alright, so 13 years ago on this very day,
Yeah.
Bring Me to Life by Evanescence was released.
Oh, thank you, Bernie.
Why? Why do we
On
need to
April
know this?
22nd, 2003.
Are you on the Wikipedia page for things that
No, I'm
happened on
reading
April
Twitter.
22nd?
Oh my god.
Alright, back to Dark Souls 3. Donald Trump built a wall. Ludleth is a badass.
No, we're done. We're done making that joke. We're talking about more lore. We're
I know.
Afro.
Donald
On
Trump
our
wall.
next playthrough, we gotta make sure we pay attention to every bit.
Yeah, we're doing a
Lore.
lore thrallhood run.
Yeah. Direct port from our old Dark
Right.
Souls 1 playthrough.
Yeah. I'm just gonna end the third episode of Beef and Rex Adventures. I'm just gonna on one death I'm just gonna cut to Dark Souls 3 and hope no one notices. Since our characters will be mostly the same.
I like that. I like that a lot. Rec saying he can parry fucking Gwyn.
Yeah.
Spending a year.
I'll still
We
put
don't-
that in somewhere.
Yeah. I look forward to it. What else about
What do you guys think of the the focus point system?
focus? Oh,
That's
man.
Pretty sweet because it
FD.
lets me spam the fuck out of fireballs.
I think it's a good magic system, honestly.
I'm
And
happy to see that blue bar back in my game.
yeah, there's a lot of demon souls in this game as well. I don't know if you could tell.
Yes, there are a
but,
lot of demons that you killed.
Yes.
Sorry.
Not only demons, but there are also just the Firelink Shrine. It's very similar to the Nexus. The maiden, whatever her name is, that you level up at.
The fire.
She's
She
very-
just called the Firekeeper?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, the Firekeeper. She's very similar to Maiden in Black.
Except hotter and cuter.
Whoa. Okay. Listen.
Maiden in
All
Black
right.
doesn't dance.
Is this
for
going to
you,
be the
first
biggest
of all.
controversy on
All right.
on the RIPcast episode
Maiden in
6?
Black doesn't dance.
Here we go.
for you.
I got the best talking point. Fuck, kill, marry, the 3 bonfires from Demon
Oh
Souls.
my god.
Kill Maiden in Black because she's basically a corpse already.
Oh my god.
Fuck Emerald Herald,
No-
she's thick. Marry
Oh
the
my.
Firekeeper from Dark Souls 3.
All right.
Now
I
throw
would-
throw the doll into there as opposed to the.
I love
the
splinters
Maiden
on
Black.
my urethra, actually. Just right there. Just give me the good shit.
But we don't have a fourth option for fuck, kill, marry. So
Destroy.
fuck, kill, marry. Yeah. That's a
That
good.
shouldn't be as funny as it was.
I mean, you can only really destroy the doll because the doll is the only thing not alive.
Hold up. I got
Do you
the
imagine
perfect
if you
fourth
destroy her and
option.
her head is still walking around and she gives you
No.
a blowjob with her
Wait,
severed
wait,
head?
guys. I have the perfect fourth option.
Okay.
What was it? Fuck, marry, kill, elect as president.
I would definitely elect. Who would I elect as president? As probably Emerald Herald. She seems pretty. She seems like she knows what she's doing.
No.
She's not gonna. No.
Lautrec for president.
No, Lautrec is already running for president. He's Ted Cruz. Come on. Just
Oh.
took the armor off.
Oh yeah. Lautrec didn't kill anyone. He's not the
He's not the Zodiac killer, yeah.
the Zodiac Firekeep killer.
Oh god. How do you guys feel about enemies in this game? Like character design.
They're bad. I killed a lot of them.
Really easy.
About what?
The mobs in this game are
Like-
really easy.
Yeah, they are super easy. Except the bosses, the PvE in this game is like.
The only boss that I found hard was
Ridiculously easy.
Pontiff Sullivan.
How did you
He's
find?
the easiest
Listen,
one.
yeah. How did you? Okay, first of all, fuck you,
Oh.
Ben.
Did you co-op
Second of all,
Pontiff Sullivan?
no, I soloed Pontiff Sullivan. I didn't find him that hard.
I had so much trouble with him.
How you think
I-
Pontiff Sullivan's harder than the fucking?
I was using a strength weapon and I couldn't get many hits in.
than
It's
the
hard
the
with
monstrous tyrant, the brainless Neanderthal.
Listen, we can say
The
its name.
mundane custodian?
People
It's the
think like
Nameless
the
King.
Nameless King is hard, and then they
Timeless
think
Prince?
Dragon Slayer armor is hard. Like those were easy for me.
I didn't
I
think
think-
Dragon Slayer armor was hard, but
I
Nameless King
think
was
Dragon
definitely
Slayer
hard.
armor is hard. Hashtag
Burn-
fuck it.
I had to help Burn with Dragon Slayer armor.
Yeah, I was
this
I
morning.
was done. 2 days of fighting that piece of shit, and I'm like, you know what? I'll finally get help with one boss in this game.
I, mean, I think that's acceptable. Summon your friends. That's
I think it's
I'll kill-
acceptable
I'll kill
to
it
summon
solo
whoever the
eventually,
fuck you
but-
want. Listen, real
Yeah.
talk right now. What do you guys think about people who co-op to beat all the bosses in Dark Souls?
I mean,
All of
I'm
them?
one of them.
Even if, like, literally, take to the extreme, every single boss.
I don't mind it.
I think it is
Why-
totally legit.
Wait, legit? Like, it's okay to do? Like,
Yeah, I
you
think
should
it's
do that?
perfectly fine because we've played the shit out of Dark Souls. We're
Yeah.
really good at it now, but not everyone's that good at the game. And I think all these people asking for an easy mode, there's already a fucking easy mode. You can just summon people.
Yeah.
And
It makes it a lot easier.
Makes the fights way easier.
I do not disagree.
Although it doesn't
But-
for the fucking mundane custodian, because when you summon people, they're as fucking clueless as you are, and they just die and leave the boss with like triple health. Beef.
That's my favorite. Whoa.
What?
Easy there. I fought him solo the other day, and I beat him. And it wasn't so bad once you understand the final phase.
Yeah, it took me 6 fucking hours to beat him. So
He is definitely my favorite boss, though. A boss cannot get cooler than when it's flying around, standing on top of a dragon, chucking bolts of lightning at you.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that-
and when he's
that
like
is the
zipping
pinnacle of
around with
coolness.
dust behind him, and he looks like
Yeah.
anime as shit. Oh, it's awesome.
Anime the boss.
So now that we've finished with the Dark Souls series, what is your guys' favorite boss, and what do you guys think is the hardest boss in all of the Dark Souls series?
Oh, Jesus.
Ebrietas, daughter of the cosmos.
Well, they're the same for me. The hardest boss is the best one for me, which is Fume Knight from Dark Souls 2.
Fume
Is that the
Knight.
DLC one?
That's the second DLC one. Yes.
I never fought
Is
him.
that the recolor of the one you made the Doritos?
No, that's the Smelter Demon. The Fume Knight is the one that uses the Fume Ultra Great Sword and then like a short sword in the other hand.
Oh, I don't think I ever got there because I only got halfway through the second DLC.
It's a really difficult boss, or also a really fun one because of its difficulty.
I have to say, for me, it's Artorias. Like, that is the most fun boss fight for me. And I say that because I've done the game Soul Level 1, like a lot of people have, and that is the pinnacle of, like, difficulty when you're fighting Artorias and he's just doing the crazy flips, trying to hit you, and just, like, it's really good. It's really scary and it's really hard, but it's just so satisfying when you actually do it.
If I had to be honest, the boss I had the absolute most trouble with in all the Dark Souls games I've played was my first Dark Souls 1 run fighting the Capra Demon.
You mean fighting the dogs?
Yeah, oh yeah, fighting the dogs basically. But that dude gave me
Orc?
so much fucking trouble.
For me, it was the Four Kings in my first Dark Souls
God.
run.
Oh yeah, they were a huge pain in the ass too.
Yeah. I remember the first Soul Level 1 run I did, Four Kings stopped me for like a good several days. Just, it would be like a few hours of me going up against Four Kings and then just dying. Just getting grabbed and had my soul sucked out. Just over and over. But
Does does being a boss count for your favorite boss?
Nice.
No, for real. Demon
what do you
Souls,
mean by that?
the third
Wait.
world boss?
Oh, I
Because
see.
Old monk.
when you're summoned as the boss in there, that is the coolest shit in the world. Because I've killed people through the fog gate before as they're running up.
That's enjoyable.
It's kind of fucked up. But I also do love fake King Alant in 1-4 of Demon Souls.
Oh.
That is a super fucking cool boss fight because that guy can drain your soul level, which is 100% fucked up. So if he nabs like some endurance or something, and you might suddenly be fat rolling. So good luck.
That was I haven't played Demon Souls, but that was permanent as well, right?
It was permanent, yeah.
I think people did that when they wanted to like try to get back to Soul Level 1 and respec.
Yeah, they do shit like that. They just get soul sucked because that's actually also a spell you can learn in that game as well.
Oh yeah.
People would try to team up with their friends, get summoned by their friends or whatever, and then get soul sucked. And like getting the red summon sign in that game was a pain in the ass too because you actually had to beat the game once.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, you got it through one of the endings, and I think it was actually killing the Maiden in Black at the end.
Whoa, spoilers.
You get her soul and you get the red summon sign. I could be high. I could be misremembering.
All right. I got a question.
Well, go on, Beef.
All right. I got a question about Demon Souls, the ending.
All right, hit me.
I only got one ending.
Okay.
And I do not have it in me to play that game again, not at the moment at least. What are the other possible endings? Like,
There's only two. Which ending did you get?
I killed Maiden in Black, I think.
God rest your soul.
Yeah, I'm an
The other
asshole.
ending is you ignore her and just run away, and she puts
Like you would a real one.
She puts Biggie to sleep.
Oh.
That's it. You win. GG.
Okay.
I mean,
That's a nice
talking of killing the main NPCs in these games, there is a wonderful ending to Dark Souls 3, which is that in the Dark Filing Shrine, you find the Firekeeper's eyes and you give them to the Firekeeper.
Whoa.
And-
Are we going to spoil burn on this?
I already fucking know. I already titty ass fucking know.
Oh. Whoa.
So you give her you give her the Firekeeper's eyes, and she gives you her spiel about seeing flames dancing on the horizon and all that bullshit. And then, right at the last 8 seconds of the game, as it's drawing to a close,
God.
everything's fading out. You resume control of your character, and here you have a choice: do you press R1 like a fucking
do
god
that?
and just kill that bitch, and then a fucking cutscene plays where your character like stomps on her face?
Oh my
You just
God.
steal-
It's just like Demon Souls.
I
you
love
just
it.
steal the first flame for yourself. It's fucking wonderful.
It exemplifies the true power of men over women. It's a really good ending.
Whoa. That's not the message I think they want you to take.
The RIPcast does not support domestic abuse of women. Firekeepers,
Yeah.
however, perhaps.
Firekeepers aren't women, of course not. So what? You just take it and then you just eat it,
And then it
you're
just cuts to black. I assume it's the
Oh.
same as the other ending, which is if you don't stab the bitch when that's happening, that everything just fades to darkness.
What about the fourth ending?
The fourth ending is where you marry Anri of Astora and
No,
become
what?
the Dark Emperor.
That's
not
true.
A joke.
That's
That's
not
not
a
a
joke.
joke. That is genuinely what happens.
I never got through her quest line.
If you complete her quest line, then
You also have to do the Dark
ending-
Lord quest line, which is Yola Blonder, get his 5 free level ups. he dies, and then another girl comes like, hey man, you killed him, so I'm just gonna be a bitch and give you everything that's evil. And you're like, alright, sure. You basically do whatever she says, and you like marry this NPC, quote unquote marry. And then you get the Dark Lord ending, and you get, oh my lord, thou hast returnest, with all these fucking bitches bowing at you. You look badass.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's
wait,
basically it's
instead
like the
of
Dark Lord
cramped,
ending from Dark Souls 1.
yeah,
Yeah.
instead of cramped and framped, it's just
It's
just
people.
a bunch of chicks.
It is just girls, actually. That's actually pretty good.
What if they're actually dark snakes on the inside though?
That'd be fine with me as long as they're girls.
But I feel like it's a good ending. I don't know if it's a good ending to the series yet, because we still have whatever DLC they decide to do. I don't know if they're going to extend the story or change an ending or explain certain things about the game. Like, I have a question. What the hell is Andre of Astora doing in the Firelink Shrine?
He's immortal. He's a son of Gwyn.
Chilling like a villain.
He's not a son of Gwyn.
He's immortal because
is
he's
there...
a fucking blacksmith, and you need him, I think.
There were other
Killing him
blacksmiths
could, like,
in-
halter your playthrough. Just like killing the Firekeeper is impossible.
Originally, he was supposed to be the firstborn of Gwyn. That was like a thing for a while, and then they just decided to retcon that. But like, that doesn't mean he's not still a son of Gwyn.
No, he's a blacksmith. What is he?
Listen, bud, everything's law. it's all law.
Yeah, something just isn't.
You better get rid of that. You better nix that attitude.
You're gonna tell me the son of a motherfucker who took down an army of fucking everlasting dragons is a fucking blacksmith in an apron?
All right, I want you to look at Andre. What color is his hair?
All right, Burn. Then I am.
What color? No, I'm not done.
I am Dwayne Johnson's son. I cannot believe all this time.
Also, the Nameless King is the firstborn of Gwyn now. Spoilers.
Yeah, apparently that's the thing, but I don't.
Okay, not apparently.
Okay.
Just, it is.
But that doesn't really affect your fight with him. You can obviously tell when you're fighting he's very similar to Gwyn, both in stature and his moveset, which is just horrifically, like, brutal. He just comes at you and keeps swinging until you're dead. just like most bosses in this game.
If people hadn't already noticed, Dark Souls 3 kind of jacks off all your nostalgia for Dark Souls 1.
That's what I noticed. Yeah. There's too much stuff that just references Dark Souls 1.
It fucking works, to be honest.
They had to conclude it.
When I walked into fucking Anor Londo for the first time in Dark Souls 3, the nostalgia hit me like a fucking train.
Oh yeah. The first I noticed it the first time I like entered the Darkmoon Tomb. I'm like, wait.
Yeah. When you were walking down the corridor and you're like, oh shit, hold up.
Because I couldn't tell it was Anor Londo from the Rafters and Archers. I thought it was just like a homage to Dark Souls.
Yeah, I thought it was a callback. Yeah. It's pretty dank.
Yeah. It was very nice. Very nice surprise, but
here's the question though. Do you think on the balance of things, will Dark Souls 3 get more criticism for reusing so many assets, or will it get more praise for weaving in with Dark Souls 1?
I think stupid babies will be upset about it. But...
Whoa. Okay, so I've been watching Epic Name Bro, who is a pillar of the Dark Souls community. I've been watching him play through it, and he has been getting somewhat miffed about the constant references to Dark Souls. I think he's maybe reading too much into it.
Yeah, he's like super blind, and I'm really enjoying his playthrough. Yeah.
It's very good. But I don't think he hates the game. I don't think he even dislikes it. I think he's enjoying it quite a lot. It's just he criticizes on the fly, and people can take that a bit too seriously.
I have to say that personally, I don't know if I would have preferred if Dark Souls 3 remained as kind of vaguely connected to the other games as the other games have been to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there was kind of an air of mystery. There was quite a lot of subtlety to it. Yeah, you could really like just make shit up and have whatever sort of... You could imagine the world for yourself. Everyone had kind of a different idea of how it all links together. But now a lot of those things are pretty, set in stone. I
still think there's so much room for interpretation now. Just, like, maybe even more so than Dark Souls 1, just because it's like they split a bunch of hairs, and now you have a bunch of split hairs everywhere, you know? It's probably not my best metaphor. But yeah, I think it's there's still a lot to be revealed from this game that has yet to be revealed. I'm sure Miyazaki's got whatever fucking tricks still hidden away in the game.
Up his big Japanese sleeves.
Yeah. What I'm actually kind of interested in is what he's going to do now. Because I think when he goes off and does his own thing, that's when he makes the best games.
Armored Core 4.
Do you think he's going to make a game that we're going to love more?
Someone's going to capitalize on this type of gameplay, this type of Souls gameplay that's like...
Oh, yeah.
The same system.
Yeah, but how many big game developers, looking at all the backlash that fucking retards like Kotaku have come at Dark Souls with, saying, we need an easy mode, do you really think that...
Well, now they can link them in my video. Fuck everyone.
Do you really think that other big game developers are going to take the risk of making a game that's super hard without the kind of gravitas that Dark Souls has?
But it does have a fucking casual mode.
I think they're going to market it as hard if there are going to be other Souls-like games out there.
Look at how badly Lords of the Fallen did because it had a difficulty mode.
Did it?
And Lords of the Fallen was the easy-ass game on hard.
Oh, I mean, that's what happens when, like, big AAA developers take on...
Dragon's Dogma was a difficult game.
True.
But I won't say it's kind of like Souls-like. It's more Dragon Age-like.
People definitely tried to tell me that when it came out. They were like, you should play Dragon's Dogma. It's just like Dark Souls.
It's not just like Dark Souls at all. Lords of the Fallen is the closest thing to Dark Souls, and even then, it's kind of lackluster in the Dark Souls department.
So, do you think there's a possibility we'd get a Dark Souls-esque game that's better than Dark Souls?
Yeah, possibly even, like, I don't even know who owns Demon Souls IP, but maybe they could go back to working on that. I know Sony owns it.
Yeah.
Miyazaki could just go back and work on that IP.
I don't know if I want another Demon Souls
Or if
game.
not, they'll just make something else Souls.
I want something new, yeah.
Imagine like a futuristic style Souls-like game. That would be pretty dope.
Then you have to include guns, and I don't think guns would work
yeah.
very well in this kind of... Well, Bloodborne did it fine.
But they weren't really guns. They were
like flintlock pistols, yeah.
Yeah. I like that. But I just want to see Miyazaki go off and be the beautiful butterfly he is. Yeah, no. I don't want sequels. I don't want sequels from him. I want him to just make his own thing. Because he made Dark Souls and Demon Souls like that.
I'm definitely tired of the kind of medieval Souls setting at this point. I think we've had our fill. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good on that now.
Shifting away from Dark Souls 3, I know we could keep on talking about it for eons, but a new game did come out. Well, sort of came out. Overwatch. The stress test was over the weekend. I'm curious if any of you guys played it. Overwatch is the new game from Blizzard that basically Team Fortress 2.
I played a lot of it over that stress test weekend, and I was kind of skeptical going into it, and Rakulier was the one who kind of
he seems to be the one who's been pushing it.
Yeah, encouraged me to get on and play with it, and I was actually very impressed with it. It was only just a few maps, but you had all the characters available to you, and I got to go in there and play with a lot of the characters. And it was really fun. How many
characters are there?
20 something. I think there's around 20 characters.
That's pretty good. They have different like classes, right?
Yeah, so they're kind of split up into like DPS, tanks, support, and then there's.
Is it a MOBA or is it a TF2?
It's a TF2.
Yeah, trust me. If it was a MOBA, we would not be talking about it.
No, but
fuck it.
It's pretty well balanced. There are a few characters that, if the right person plays them, then they can just pretty much dominate the map. But
shoutouts to Genji.
Yeah, Genji is one of them who's, if you can play Genji really well, then you're pretty much going to wipe everybody. But
I think
it's still a pretty well balanced game so far, and I've been very impressed with it.
I think the character design is a lot like other Blizzard games, sort of like just kind of sci-fi, futuristic, but they're all unique characters. Like each singular character has its own special ability, its own speed, its own size, its own weapons, what have you.
Their own backstory.
Okay, listen, backstory does not fucking matter in games like this. Let's be real.
I wish Blizzard would come out with another like story-heavy game though, because they fucking run Warcraft ragged.
Oh god, let's not even talk about WoW. It's
Well,
dead now.
Maybe not WoW, but GameSpot released a documentary about the failed development of Titan, which was the code name for Blizzard's big project that they were working on for a long time. Like, people were talking about Titan back when I think the Burning Crusade was out. And
I remember hearing about it.
Yeah, I've not actually watched the documentary yet. I've just seen people posting quotes from it. But apparently I think this is kind of paraphrasing, but almost a direct quote from the documentary from one of the people developing Titan was that they made basically every development mistake that they possibly could have. And that's why Titan was such a huge failure. It just never saw the light of day.
Dang.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like every game goes through a bunch of development mistakes, but I guess, yeah, it sounds pretty awful.
But I don't think we'll ever see something like WoW again from Blizzard, because they're definitely taking a new direction now with like Hearthstone and Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but I mean, it could have been worse, I guess. Like, Hearthstone's not that bad. WoW is kind of crappy now, but it'll be done soon. One more expansion.
I mean, the money's kind of gone, right? MMOs have sort of had their day.
Yeah. I don't want to say that, but yeah, it's I feel like it's maybe in a low point right now for MMOs. I think.
Oh, I would love to see a resurgence, man.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to happen with like a new generation of kids. Just
VR MMOs.
Oh, don't even joke about that.
We were talking about that last podcast. How there's Sword Art Online is in development. It's like it's just gonna be for VR. I don't get it really. It's like any VR in particular, or just I probably should have looked this up beforehand, but honestly, do not want Google to have my search history for Sword Art Online. God knows what could happen.
I mean, I agree that MMOs have kind of seen their heyday, at least in their current form. I'm very hopeful that with the this new era of VR that we can kind of get back into that kind of genre of games with a very large community interacting with each other, and
yeah,
PvP.
Community interaction is the thing. Definitely.
Here's the problem: VR is expensive. It is
one day it won't be
$400 to $800 to get into VR. Plus, you have to have a really good gaming computer.
Listen, one day it's not going to be that expensive.
I agree. The problem is we can't let VR just fade away into nothing like 3D TVs or stuff like that.
Okay, I've heard the 3D TV comparison a lot, and let me tell you why it's fucking bullshit. Because when 3D TVs came out, there was a lot of kind of big industry support behind it, because they wanted to make it a thing so they could sell a shitload of 3D TVs, right?
Yeah.
But now you look at VR instead, and it's not necessarily big industry that's pushing it, but it's big names in game development and technology development, like Valve and John Carmack and all of these.
Facebook.
Fuck off. I mean, Facebook is kind of trying to cash in on the craze, but like it's mostly just engineers that are really striving for this right now. It's not necessarily there's a big corporate push behind it, and that's why I think VR will be a success, because before that big corporate push comes to make it cheap as fuck so everyone and their grandma can use VR, then the technology is going to be there, it's going to be cheap enough, and it's going to be accessible for everyone to buy it.
I want to get my grandma a VR headset. What's
Hey,
they're that
Granny, strap
affordable.
this on. You're going for a ride.
Yeah, just put her right in the middle of a World War II simulator. That sounds like a good idea. Oh, I'm way too excited. I've been seeing all sorts of posts about people who have gotten their Vive already, the April shipments, which they kind of went out a bit slow, and people were freaking out, and customer support wasn't being too helpful on HTC Vive's part. But overall, I think its release has been a bit smoother than the Oculus was.
Oh God, yes.
But I just want it. It's really killing me.
Oh yeah,
just the
let
wait.
me talk to the viewers real quick. Viewers, brace yourselves for the next couple of RIPcast episodes to be, by and large, just beef talking about the HTC Vive.
Oh, once I get it, you guys, you don't even know. I'm going to be streaming as much as I can with it. I will live inside virtual reality and not want to come out. But yeah, there's so many games on Steam for it right now that it's like I've already been buying them. That's the thing.
You're
I've
already
been
buying
buying
the
the
VR
VR games.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ, you're a wreck.
it's not good. It's not, because I can't even play them. I bought VR desktop even though I have to upgrade to Windows 10 to use it, which is the worst. I don't know how Microsoft did it.
What is your problem with Windows 10 apart from the telemetry bullshit? Okay, Windows 10 is fine.
I just don't want to do it, man. I just
want
I'm
to
steeped in
go
my
back
ideology.
to Windows XP. My comfy blue and green taskbar. My rolling hills wallpaper. Why isn't solitaire under accessories anymore?
Oh, you piece of shit. Okay, yeah. I'll admit part of it is just mostly not wanting to upgrade and just stay where I am with my computer. I like it how it is, but there are good things with Windows 10, as awful as it is to admit that. But I needed to use VR desktop because it uses DX 11.1 whatever.
Yeah.
But I just want to be in VR. That's all I want. There on Steam right now. There's a game called Pool Nation VR. I don't know if we've talked about it already.
Is this the one where you can throw the beer bowls around and you're
Yes.
supposed to be playing pool, but you basically do anything except play pool?
About that.
Yeah,
We'll put it in the YouTube video after I'll edit it in.
I edit the YouTube videos. Come on. It basically takes place inside a full bar. There's beer on tap for whatever reason that you can drink. There's televisions in the corner that you can. I think the developer's planning on adding YouTube support for that, so you can watch your YouTube videos. It has online multiplayer, which means you can just chill with your friends,
Chill in
just
the
hang
bar.
out. It has a pool table, of course. You can have custom games. You can have just free play. You can play all sorts of pool.
There's darts.
And in between, there's darts. Yeah, so in between your turn, you can play some darts. You can stack beer bottles and other things up and just knock them over and just have fun. It just seems like a really enjoyable time hanging out with your friends, playing some pool, drinking some beer.
This episode of the RIPcast brought to you by the developers of that one pool VR game on Steam.
Yeah, Pool Nation VR. Check it out. Also, something that's already out that I've been hearing a lot about is AltSpace VR. And what AltSpace VR is it's basically just you can hang out with a bunch of other people using VR is essentially what it is. That you can play tabletop games together. You have little avatars that look like you. They even have support for the Leapfrog, which is hand tracking software, so you could have hands inside the VR space.
Wow.
For whatever you need hands for. I don't know. It has controller tracking. It has events that happen every now and again. It's all online. You can just meet actual people. And I think what's going to be interesting about VR is actually communicating with people. It's going to be a lot. If you have social anxiety, it's probably going to trigger that. Is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Will it?
But I
though?
think it's going to... maybe.
I mean, you're still.
I mean, maybe it'd be the opposite, and it would help with people with social anxiety.
Yeah, that I think that's a real possibility.
You can meet people kind of face to face in a more like comfortable
safe
environment.
space.
Yeah,
You don't
in a
have to
nice,
ever
safe
see
space.
these people again.
Yeah.
I think also I heard a story where the guy was like, yeah, I was in some event room and one of the developers came on, and he had something called, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a full body tracking suit that you put on.
Right.
Like it looks like one of those mech suits that you put on. Like it only connects to like your wrists, your back, your waist, your legs. But in the game, the guy he was basically a celebrity because he had full motion control inside the VR space, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty bonkers.
But I think that's just like the beginning of VR. There's VR mini golf. There's VR plane simulators. I heard.
Have you seen holoporting? Beef?
Hollow Point.
No, holoporting.
Holoporting. No.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's like a video chat, but with the hologram and like in 3D.
Oh Jesus.
Microsoft's doing it. It's basically like teleporting. You can
Exactly like
holoport like it's 4 cameras that are in they mark an area, and then everything inside that area is like hologrammed and sent to another area.
Jesus.
Is that with their glass? Is that their
I would
new
think
VR?
so.
HoloLens.
I can link a
HoloLens,
video.
that's it.
You can just skip through it real quick.
All right.
Does that
There's
mean I could hang out with Hatsune Miku?
No.
Damn it.
You're not David Letterman.
I mean, you could with HTC Vive. I'm pretty sure that already exists. There's another game called Hollow Point where it's just an archery simulator.
Oops, I linked it in the server.
It's fine.
You just like skip to like the middle of it.
All right, I'll check this out. Interactive. I mean, it seems like VR is being attacked from maybe not attacked is the best word. VR is being approached from so many different directions by so many companies. It's hard to believe that it won't become the next.
Yeah, you
big
see how
thing.
that's set up?
Well, even with like consoles now, with the PlayStation offering their own VR headset for the PlayStation, I think it most definitely will be a PC heavy addition to PC gaming, but I definitely think that they're going to start moving towards VR all around as gaming sort of develops.
I think sooner or later, maybe even just the next generation of VR devices, we're probably going to see like some sort of standardization of peripherals and headsets, because right now it's going to turn into kind of a mess.
Yeah, there's a lot of Oculus Rift games right now that are exclusive to the Oculus Rift.
Oh no, let me tell you about something. Some people wrote it's purely software, no hardware involved, wrote some software that you can use to make the HTC Vive compatible with Oculus Rift games.
Oh, I heard about that. I don't know if it works for all the games though, but
does it not? Oh, okay.
I'm sure it'll be patched out and then repatched in, and it's just it seems to me like Oculus, what it has going with it is it needs exclusives to stay competitive against the HTC Vive, I guess, which is fine. I understand that, but it also seems very arbitrary since HTC Vive can basically do everything the Oculus Rift can.
Standardization would be one of those things that would reduce the
Yes.
cost of VR massively, though.
Well, their whole business model of Oculus Rift is that they didn't want to be the manufacturer. Like they didn't. That's not where they wanted to make their money with the manufacturer and sale of VR. They wanted to be like the Steam of VR. They wanted to have all the games they
replace
could.
Steam though. It's like I know that's bad because it means Steam is a monopoly, but it's so necessary.
I mean, I think what Kinja was trying to say is that Oculus wanted to establish their business model that they had a monopoly on VR.
Yes.
And what's happened is it's
Yeah.
got so popular so fast that they've lost control of that monopoly.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think Steam and Valve in particular are approaching VR probably in the best way possible by fully embracing it, investing probably tons of money. I think Gabe Newell sent out like 100 or 200 HTC Vives to a bunch of different game studios, indie developers and stuff like that, just so they could like develop or just play with even the Vive and see what they could do with it. And I really opening it up like that is really cool. Whereas for the Oculus Rift, I think you need to get licensing and you have to talk to them and have their people talk to your people, that kind of stuff. I'm a little biased, let's face it, towards the Oculus Rift, but I think both headsets are going to be good for the industry. You know, I think
They're a step forward into a new era of gaming. That's
it sounds very like high-minded.
yeah, that was very buzzwordy, but I think it's true.
I love it.
I stand by it. I genuinely think we're gonna see a whole new like renaissance of gaming.
What a time to be alive.
I wish Rec was here because he would totally call you out on saying renaissance.
My use of
like
renaissance, yeah.
I don't mind it. I can't wait. I honestly can't wait to get it, and it's going to kill me. And I'm going. No, it's going to kill me waiting for it. Sorry.
It is probably going to kill you.
It's probably
as well.
going to kill you.
It's probably going to kill me. I'll
like
probably forget.
3 weeks down the line, when you're in like crusty week-old underwear, like covered in fast food wrappers and shit, with your headset like plugged into the wall.
Here's the thing. I'm going to die about 3 days into it because I'll be in VR trying to drink water, VR water, which will not replenish my thirst, and I'll just collapse into a heap and die. And
Born just in time to fuck our wifeys. And they told me I would never be able to.
Nope, they were wrong. You're going to be able to do whatever you want to your waifu.
And we're gonna
I
record
can
it
finally
all.
kill the maiden in black.
You could do it. Anything's possible. When are they making Dark Souls VR? That's my question.
You
When's-
can already die in real life.
Yeah, you will die in real life.
When's Miyazaki releasing his epic fantasy VR adventure?
I'm sure he's working on it right now. Miyazaki, if you're listening, send us
Hit us up.
send us a copy. Hit us up.
Email us at rip.castley@gmail.com.
Yeah. Go ahead and do it. And anyone else who wants to email us there, go ahead and
Send us your
Please do.
questions, comments, concerns, money.
Mainly
Yeah.
money,
Castley.
honestly.
At
Actually,
email.com.
if you want to donate money, we've got a different email. Send any money over
No.
PayPal to gwmcasella@gmail.com.
No, that's your email.
Yeah, didn't we discuss this?
No. If anything, it should go to me first. I'm the one.
Excuse me?
the SoundCloud.
Editing the podcast.
We'll talk about this with David Spacey. Or Kevin.
David Spacey. Kevin Spacey's less popular brother.
Yeah, we couldn't get Kevin. He's just like, you can get David, and then we hired him instead, and he's not nearly as good. We're probably gonna fire him, but yeah, we'll do that in the meantime. But
Until
for now-
the next episode of RIPcast.
yeah. Until then, though, stay frosty. I think that's our tagline.
Do
Right?
we have a tagline?
Yeah.
No, we don't have a tagline.
Stay frosty. Stay
The legend
sexy.
never dies.
Our tagline is "Fuck,
good.
marry, kill, destroy."
Or
Fuck,
elect for
Mary,
president.
kill, destroy, elect for president.
Yep. That hot new game sweeping the nation. All right.
We'll see you
See you
next
later,
week.
guys.
Bye bye.
Peace
Bye.
out, nerds.